What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got to talk about a bunch of new black Digimon, except, well, let's just say there are a bunch of dual-coloured Digimon coming in here. And we are leading up to a level 7, new level 7, secret rare, looking pretty awesome. But we need to start off having a little bit of a look at a smaller, simpler Digimon. We need to have a look at Doramon. Now, Doramon here, we got a level 3, free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2000 power. All fairly standard for a level 3 with a skill. And when you play, you may trash a card with X-Antibody and its traits in your hand to draw 2. And we know there's a bunch of X-Antibody decks out there that have been for a while. Plus, there are a bazillion X-Antibody cards in this particular set. It is the X-Antibody set. Being able to trash one of them, draw 2 cards. In reality, what you're really doing is replacing, play Doramon, discard another, 2 down, draw 2, back to normal. But if you're looking for a little bit of a draw engine in a card game that doesn't have much draw at all, this, ladies and gentlemen, will work very nicely indeed. Moving on into level 4s, we've got Dexdoragamon here. And I'm probably pronouncing that badly, and if I am, I can only apologise, ladies and gentlemen. We got a 6 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 6000 power. And although we like the power here, and we absolutely do, 6 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve on a level 4? No! They are both way too high. The hope here, of course, is that even though they are very high, it is still totally, absolutely worth it. Well, what we've got here is that you can Digivolve from Doragamon for 0 cost. Just go for it. We've got Dextoragamon here, and you can evolve from Doragamon for 0 cost, which is nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, alright? Because Doragamon, you're still talking about a level 4 Digimon, so you're Digivolving a level 4 into a level 4. So you're still paying over the odds to get from the 3 into the 4. Like I've said, 6 is expensive to play, 3 is expensive to Digivolve. All in all, it's not the end of the world, but this is kind of expensive to get on board. However, when you Digivolve, you may trash a card with Dex in its name, or X-Antibody in its type, from your hand, and gain a memory. Which is actually really cool, because you can Digivolve and potentially, 0 memory, and then you're gaining a memory. So actually, it's not even free evolution from a Doragamon. What you can do here is actually gain memory when you Digivolve. That is a little bit silly. Again, you're still Digivolving from a 4 into a 4, and it's a little bit awkward, but you never know, ladies and gentlemen. This could work. Basically, it's expensive to Digivolve normally. It's going to cost you free. But if you Digivolve specifically from Doragamon, it's free. And you gain a memory, which is cool. Also, when you Digivolve, if this Digimon has Doragamon in its evolution sources, or when one of your Digimon evolves into this Digimon from your trash, until the end of your opponent's next turn, one of your Digimon gains Blocker and Vengeance, which is a ridiculous combination. Blocker means you get to redirect an attack towards it, clearly good, and Vengeance says that if you get deleted in a battle, you get to take the other Digimon down with you, and that's a nasty combo. Basically coming along and going, oh, you attack me, we'll actually attack this dude instead, and you're going to win, but who cares, because you're going to go down as well. It's a glorious, brilliant combo, and I am totally in favour of it. Seems pretty good to me, ladies and gentlemen. Seems pretty good to me. Now, moving up into the level 5, we do have a new level 5 that's gone and been revealed. It is Dextoragoramon. And what we've got here is an 8 cost to play normally, 4 cost to Digivolve, 8000 power. So everything's a little bit more expensive than it needs to be. It is on the higher end power-wise, which is nice. But the 8 cost to play normally, the 4 cost to Digivolve, both very high indeed. But you've got a nice little skill that you can Digivolve from Doragamon for 1 cost. So it's just like we saw on the level 4. It's expensive to Digivolve normally, and there's no argument here. Level 5s, it should cost 3 to Digivolve into, it's costing 4. However, if you Digivolve specifically from Doragamon, then you're only actually paying 1 memory, which is clearly brilliant. But then, of course, you've got the same situation we mentioned a moment ago, and that is that Doragraemon is a level 5. So you're digivolving from a level 5 into a level 5. I should mention that we are dual colour here, dual colour purple and black. So you can digivolve from black or purple, and when you digivolve, you are black or purple, or black and purple, I should say, and that's rather nice. But yeah, it is, shall we say, a little bit awkward. It is far from ideal. We've then got, when you digivolve, you may trash one card that has Dex in its name, or a card with X-Antibody in its type, to gain a memory. So again, we got the same skill that we just saw a moment ago. So potentially here, you're not actually digivolving for 1 cost, you're digivolving for free, which is cool. Also, there is a potential here that you can, just do a regular Digivolution, trash a card with X-Antibody in its type or Dex in its name, and then you're paying a free cost, 1, 2, 3, and then it's normal. Do I like having to discard a card from my hand to bring it down to a normal evolution cost? No, obviously not. That's ridiculous, but it mitigates it somewhat. However, if you're digivolving from Doragraemon, that's brilliant, because now I'm digivolving for nothing, and that's kind of cool. But when you digivolve, if this Digimon has Doragraemon as an evolution source, or if it evolved from the trash, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. I'm getting rid of my opponent's weak Digimon. Yes. And like we always say with skills like this, that you can't get every Digimon and it's limited a little bit in its scope, etc. All of that remains very much true, but the fact of the matter is, I can delete one of my opponent's Digimon when I digivolve up potentially for 0 cost. That's kind of cool. The thing is, it's not quite as good as we saw on the last card, and it's a little bit awkward because you've got to digivolve from Doragraemon or from the trash. These are useful cards, but we need to build into something that is really worth having a little bit of a boast about. How about the level 6 Dextoragoramon? And this is a nice big level 6, and it is a big level 6. 13 cost to play normally, 5 cost to digivolve, 13,000 power. All of those stats are very, very high. But hopefully we've got some nice skills to go along with them. Well, what we've got here is that you can evolve from a Doragoramon for a 2 cost, which is nice. But again, I've got to give you the same warning I've given you for all the other cards. You're going from a level 6 into a level 6. So, generally speaking, it's not an ideal situation. Because basically here, you can either digivolve from a level 5 and it's super expensive, or digivolve from a 6, but then you've got to get to the 6 before you even get to this. It's kind of annoying. However, when you digivolve, if this Digimon has Doragoramon in its evolution sources, or if you evolved from the trash, you may delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. And this is clearly brilliant. Now, it's also very situational, and it might not always work. Because essentially the deal here is that if you're going to try and make this work, you've got to time it right. There will be times where you get your opponent's only Digimon on the field, because even if they've only got one 11,000 power Digimon, it's still the lowest power on the field, so you will get it and it will be beautiful. But there will be other times you miss. And by miss, I mean, get one random level 3 and that's it. There will be other times, maybe against Rookie Rush decks, where you get 5 or 6 3,000 power level 3s. Because your opponent is trying to flood the board with similar power Digimon, and that's going to be amazing. There will be times where this skill is absolutely stunning and that's brilliant. There will be other times where it's not. You have been warned. But just to be clear, right, when this works properly, it's absolutely stunning. It's also got a deletion skill that says, you may play a black or purple level 3 Digimon from the trash without paying its cost. Now, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't think losing a level 6 to replace it with a level 3 is fair. It doesn't make me happy. But if you have 5 or more cards with Dex in their name in your trash, you may play a Dexmon from your trash without paying its cost. We haven't got to Dexmon in a minute, but it's huge and brilliant. We'll get there in just a moment. So now, all of a sudden, these evolution skills that we've been talking about up to now, where you are trashing Digimon with Dex in their name, they are starting to make a whole bunch more sense. I like it. It's really, really good. The Digivolution skill is fine, but it's not stunning. Okay, let me be clear. Sometimes it will be stunning, it's just a little bit awkward. But a lot of the time, what you really want to do here is Digivolve into this, fire off the skill and hope you do well enough with it, then get it deleted so that you can play a Dexmon for free. Because if you don't play Dexmon for free, it is a 20 cost to play, 6 cost to Digivolve, 15,000 power secret rare level 7. It is a big boy, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very big boy. But also, when you play this card, you reduce the cost by free for each of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers on the field. So I can play it for free using the deletion skill from Dextoragoramon, which is kind of cool. Or if my opponent's got 7 Digimon or Tamers on the board, I can play it for free as well. What is important is it is reduce the play cost, not gain memory. What that means is, best case scenario, your opponent's got 7 Digimon or Tamers on the field. Although if your opponent's got 7 Digimon/Tamers on the field, things might not be going great. And then this goes from a 20 cost down to a 0 cost. Doesn't go to a -1, it just goes to a 0 and stops. But when you play or Digivolve, you de-Digivolve all of your opponent's Digimon, and then delete all of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. But remember that de-Digivolve 1 reduces them by 1 level, takes away that top level. So in reality, it basically gets rid of all of your opponent's level 5 or lower, and turns all the level 6s into 5s and 7s into 6s. This is the kind of skill that will wreck the game. This is going to see a lot of play because it's absolutely stunningly brilliant. And this is a phenomenal skill that will just end the game. Like, if I'm setting up and I'm a little bit slow and I've got, say, 2 level 3s, 2 level 4s, and a level 5 on the board. Well, this will come down and just get rid of all of them. Now, I do need to mention, any level 5s that don't have any Digivolution cards will survive, because remember, de-Digivolve 1 will not get rid of the last one. It won't get rid of the final stage, and it won't get rid of a level 3 to leave a Digitama on the board. So, it's not necessarily getting rid of all level 5s or below, but it basically is. Most people don't hardcast level 5s. If you do, yay, it can't be de-Digivolved, so it will survive. But other than that, all level 5s, level 4s, level 3s, they're all going. Remember, ones in the raising area will obviously stay. And 6s go down to 5s, 7s go down to 6s. This is a kind of skill where you sit there and you think your board looks pretty good and you're ready to start going off in a turn or two, and your opponent drops this and you scoop because you're out. That's how good this skill can be. And it works when you Digivolve, and it works when you play, and this can be very, very good for playing. I mean, honestly, your opponent's going to have to sit and look at the board and go, I want to play a Digimon, but that's actually going to bring the cost down for my opponent too much. I can't justify playing it. That's going to suck. Also, at the end of your opponent's turn, once per turn, delete all of your opponent's lowest cost Digimon. At the end of all of your opponent's turns, you delete all of your opponent's lowest play cost Digimon. What, ladies and gentlemen? What? That's ridiculous. It's just wiping, and don't get me wrong, right? It's a super powerful level 7 and it's really expensive and blah, blah, blah. But again, you can play it for free if you have a Dextoragamon deleted with 5 cards with Dex in their name and they're trash. You can play it cheaply because the play cost is reduced by free for each of your opponent's Digimon and Tamer cards. So it's not really a 20 cost, not in any way that matters. And at the end of your opponent's turn, you delete all of your opponent's lowest play cost Digimon after getting your opponent into a bit of a board wipe situation when you play it. This might end up being the kind of card where your opponent's got a bunch of level 4s or 5s, and you literally play a cheap Digimon just to get it deleted so that you don't have to part with bigger Digimon. This is absolutely nuts. Now, we also have an option card we can talk about very quickly here as well. It is Dex-lution, and as a security card, you add it to your hand. It is a 0-cost card, and when you have a Digimon with X-Antibody in its traits in play, you may use it ignoring its color requirements. So it's a purple card, but it doesn't need to be, as long as you've got an X-Antibody card in play. One of your Digimon can evolve into a Digimon from your trash whose name contains Dex by paying its evolution cost. So all the times in this video we've been referring to Digivolving from the trash, this is what we were referring to, and that's just a little bit silly, quite frankly. That's just a little bit silly. It's basically a 0-cost card that lets you evolve from the trash, and like we've mentioned in other videos, I will sometimes have the cards in my hand, I sometimes won't. I will sometimes have the cards in my trash, I sometimes won't. But if you're telling me I can Digivolve if I've got the cards either in my hand or in my trash, then that means I'm going to have access to those cards way more often than usual, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very good thing indeed. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This looks good. This is a big level 7. It's a secret rare. It's one we've been waiting for, and it is worth the wait. This looks ridiculously powerful, and it is going to be board wiping, and it's going to be crazy, crazy good. The support Digimon overall, I'm not absolutely loving, but I think when we get up to the 6s and 7s, man, it pays off nicely. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.